Do you happen to have any other news for us? I've kind of run out of things to talk about with this.
I'm done. This is creepy. I
agree.
I'm done feeling creeped out by this. You can have this one too. You like DBZ.
Sure?
Yeah, I like DBZ. You like DBZ more than me.
Dude, you know it. I am always going to find something Dragon Ball Z related to talk about every news episode. Well, as long as there is something. But anyway, so...
You'll find one anyway.
Big news lately that's been going around in this past week has been the live-action fan pilot Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope. Now, this is really cool. It's basically recreating off of the Dragon Ball Z Special Number 2, The History of Trunks, which was basically Trunks growing up, getting trained by Gohan. It was after Goku had died of a heart attack, and most of the Z Fighters got killed off. All of them did. And this is probably one of the coolest things to come out, and is infinitely hands better than a Dragon Ball Evolution movie.
It's infinitely better than this one specific movie.
No, it's actually really interesting. I've never heard of any of the people involved with it. Sometimes, I know you'd mentioned to me before that you felt the cuts in it were way too jumpy, which I absolutely agree with. They try to capture the pace, but it jumps way too much. But the production values are significantly high. Some of it kind of comes across as cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
But for something like this, it's okay. I mean, Dragon Ball has always been cheesy in some aspect or another, so it fits right in. But I think this is super cool. I am really digging all these fan film projects that are gaining so much attention. You know, they mentioned also in the article about Street Fighter. You know, that got massive attention where they created the live action series. There was a Naruto Shippuden one, which I kind of looked into a little bit. I didn't watch it, but it actually sounds really cool. What are your thoughts on this, my good sir?
Well, it reminded me of the Mortal Kombat Legacy series.
Yes.
Because it's by Machinima and because of the whole idea that's behind it of trying to create something that of merit for a certain franchise. I liked Mortal Kombat Legacy, at least the first season, but of course the Cyrax and Sector episode was the best by far.
Oh my gosh, was that so good?
So cool.
So cool.
But then the season 2 came along and it's like, they're not even trying anymore. They're putting no effort into these episodes. They're not, the writing was worse, the choreography was worse, the special effects were few and far between. This, I hope, does not go that way. I hope they make more of it, kind of like the Mortal Kombat Legacy. I hope it maintains a level of quality, and I hope that they stop doing the abrupt jump cuts that were really annoying. But like you said, the visual effects are really good. And it's pretty cool that not even a big name studio can make such good effects. This is these effects are better than a lot of big name studios works. And it's just like a YouTube video.
No, and that's probably the most impressive thing about it is it looks better than the Evolution movie did, and that had a huge budget. It's older, yeah, but I mean it looks so much better. And like you said, it's an independent studio, and it looks like a big budget studio did it. And I cut you off there too. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I wasn't saying anything.
Well,
but where was that? Shit. Oh, here it is. This is related, very related. So I'm just gonna jump to this. It wasn't the next one that I had written down, but it's very related.
Ooh.
It's if you've heard about this Power/Rangers, it's Power Rangers. It's Power Rangers parody. It's written Power/Rangers. That's a live action fan project made by fans of Power Rangers. That's basically making it. That basically makes Power Rangers more dark and realistic, and it's really cool. I saw it on Facebook, but this story is about how Saban is a cut is like basically trying to get rid of it wherever it's at because they're filing copyright claims against it, which has no merit whatsoever because it's original and they made it themselves. It's theirs. It's protected under fair use, if anything, for parody purposes. But it's really cool. It's really cool, and this story showcases how broken the YouTube copyright system is, and I've hated YouTube ever since they implemented this copyright system where people can just go on and copyright claim whatever video the fuck they want, and it's always a system where you're guilty until proven innocent. They can take it down, and once they file a claim, it's gone immediately, and you have to fight them to get it back to prove that you have to basically prove that you're innocent, so that you can get it back up on live on YouTube. It's really fucking bullshit that companies, not only companies but anybody, if you're dedicated enough, you can copyright claim any video. Basically, you'll probably get in huge fucking trouble if you get caught, but you can make it happen. So yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. That's probably my biggest problem. Fair use is obviously being abused in the full sense of the word, and I understand too the aspect of going about in the way that they are, since there are people that put content out there that does violate that, and the whole guilty until proven innocent, well, being backwards and warped is hooray for the American legal system, because that's usually how things are. So, which is a problem in and of itself. I won't get into that, though. That's a whole nother story. But, yeah, in a situation like this, I can't even begin to fathom how that even works because, as you said, it completely falls into fair use. They're not using any original footage. It's completely built from the ground up as an original idea, paying tribute to a classic concept. And if I were Saban, I would love this because it's gotten massive amount of attention. If you guys haven't seen it, or if anyone hasn't seen it, do try to find a way to check it out because it is brilliant. It really is. It's incredible.
The only place you can find it now is on their Facebook page. Yeah. Andy Shankar. You can search their name on Facebook.
Yeah,
I'll link the story. So
I don't know why Saban would go after that because that's brilliant for them because they're re-releasing the TV show. Why would I not want a group of individuals basically giving me essentially grassroots press, hey, Power Rangers, and then like, oh, Power Rangers, and they go find out, oh, hey, they're producing videos, I'm gonna go buy these. But no, it's, big companies gotta clamp down on whatever they can to try and make an extra buck, and it's just ridiculous,
Well, this doesn't even make them extra money.
I know.
Like them shutting this down. Them shutting this down only can hurt them.
Yeah, exactly, and it's, I don't understand it. It's ridiculous. It's beyond stupid. Yeah.
I don't think these companies that do this shit realize what negative press is.
No, I don't think so. But hey, I suppose I've also heard too that be it good or bad, so long as you're getting press, because the last thing you want is to not get press or to be boring.
Well, I mean, you get positive press through this. I mean, you get positive attention to your creation, Power Rangers. Yeah, but now people see you doing this bullshit, and people are going to be like, I don't want to buy their shit if they're going to abuse the YouTube copyright system because they're pricks.
But then people are talking about it, which makes them socially relevant, even despite the fact that it's bad and it's business.
Well, okay, let's assume that people are smart and take the right course of action, which is to not give them money because of this. That's the best thing people can do in this situation is vote with their wallets.
The best thing people can do, but as you know as well, the thing that most people usually don't do.
Yeah,
sadly,
people
usually talk about it, but the percentage that's done is, at last, not the same. But they should in this case. They really should, because this is above all else in comparison to any other scenario. Really needs action taken Really does. Vote with your wallets. Vote, however. Vote.
Here's my my advice. You see this story? Go watch this video that this fan project that these people made. It's pretty well. That's actually pretty well made. It has really good production values. Go watch it, and then if that interests you in watching Power Rangers, go pirate it as a big fuck you to Saban for being pricks about copyright. A copyright that is bullshit because they don't even have any right to file a claim against this because it's not theirs.
Sinai Blizzard and Dracokast March don't actually endorse piracy. However, that is a figure of speech.
That's just something.
Our asses.
That's something we say to avoid being sued. But I totally endorse it in this case. So fuck you, Saban.
I am staying out of this. No, I
don't give a fuck.
I can understand that perspective. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I don't condone it, but I understand it. I can't endorse it. So this is yours. It's all you.
Okay, so this is actually really funny because I was talking with an individual earlier about horror games, and probably one of the bigger series in the last 5 years or so has been this Dojin started series, which has now become much larger, Corpse Party. And Corpse Party went from being a Dojin game that was created on RPG Maker 98 to actually being, an officially produced game with actual money behind it to actually getting anime adaptations, manga adaptations, and is now getting a live-action film. Wow, that's incredible for such a small niche, too. For something like horror, which, is huge in its own right, but not terribly huge. To go this big is really incredible.
Yeah, this is like, is this really that popular when I saw this? I saw stuff about Corpse Party, and I'm like, this looks really fucking shit. And it's like, but it's apparently popular enough to get a live-action movie, I guess.
Yeah, it's so weird because Xseed brought it over. I think the first one was actually only brought over via PlayStation Network, and then the second one, Book of Shadows, actually I think got a physical release too. I'm trying to remember for sure, but yeah, it was one of those things where I think they brought it over because they were curious in its niche and they kind of like to do that, but apparently it did well enough to where they brought it over, and it's kind of one of those things where it's not immensely popular, but the people that do play it or know about it really like it. Of course, there are also people who don't like it at all, but yeah, no, it's really interesting. Filming is supposed to start on March 15th, so I imagine it's going to be out sometime later on in the year, perhaps, but yeah, whether it's going to be any good or not, or if it's going to be complete schlock, that'll be another story, but, yeah, it's...
Well, Japanese horror can be kind of hit and miss, I think. They have some really good horror, I think, like, Ring and, Dark Water. But they also have a lot of really corny and cheesy shit.
Speaking of which, actually, Fatal Frame, they released a live-action movie recently. Have you seen that? Because I've been.
They did?
Yeah,
they did. I didn't know that they made a movie. I think I actually heard that they were going to, but I didn't know it was that imminent.
I think it's actually out too.
Dude, I want to watch this now.
Yeah. Oh man, I was actually looking at getting a Japanese Wii U and buying the 5th game, and I was like, no, I don't need to be spending that much money. But I so want to. I so do. Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, I never got a chance to play the other Fatal Frame games because they were always on like PS3 or PS2, and they looked interesting, but I never have owned those. I don't really want to.
Oh, dude, someday if we meet up, I'm bringing my 360. I'm going to bring 1 and 2, and I'm going to bring 3 and my Wii with the mod to play 4. That's right.
So they have those on Xbox 360 now? How long has that been out?
They released 1 and 2 as director's cuts with improved graphics and additional costumes and content. I don't know if those are out on the market, but I know you can buy the games, and those will work fine on the Xbox. I'm not too sure about the first one if there's any issues, but I've been playing through the second with no problems.
Are they imports, or...?
They're technically ports of the PS2, but they look even better than the PlayStation 2 versions.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And of course, the third was PlayStation 2 only, though 1 through 3 is out on the PlayStation Network. So if you happen to own a PS3, you can buy it if you want. I think they're only like $9.99 as well, so it's a pretty good price. And of course, 4 never got released, but there's a fan translation, and including patching, which is actually pretty easy to do from what I've been reading up. So
cool.
That's right. I'm a little bit of a fan.
Awesome. Okay, so here's the next story, which was really shocking to hear when I saw this, because I was like, you'd think that the animation industry, with how big it is in Japan, would pay better, pay its people who work in that industry better, but apparently not, because apparently newcomers in the animation industry only make about 120 yen an hour, which is about $1 an hour.
Wow, seriously?
That is fucking terrible. You think you got paid bad working as a waitress? This is like criminal wages. It's like in the story it says, like, after having watched numerous young animators fresh out of school suddenly be thrust into a job where they can't even eat, she feels that she must reveal what could be considered one of the most shocking facts about the anime industry. Holy shit. That's... If you found out that was how you're going to be paid, fresh with your degree, you think the people would switch majors right away.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. Like, I know I've heard stories even back in the late 90s about animators not really making any money at all, being a very terrible job to work in unless, I mean, there's people that dream of being the next Miyazaki, but it's a pretty, to be blunt, shit industry to work in. And yeah, apparently it's still that bad. That's actually really alarming, because I could go work fast food and make bank compared to these guys who have a degree, most likely, if not, more than that.
Well, the reason that they're getting paid so little as newcomers is that they apparently are paid per frame of animation that is completed, rather than a fixed salary or hourly wage. So these people that are new into the business aren't as experienced, so they can't make as much as fast. So they can't make a decent living.
That is a tough industry. I mean, I get it, tough to, harden the individuals so they can, learn to animate faster, because obviously everything's on a deadline. Time is money. Company's objective is to make as much money as possible. All right, fine. I can understand that business model, but yeah, it's like you said, it's absurd. $1 basically an hour. Oh my god.
This brings a whole new light to how often I criticize shitty production values like A1 Pictures with their shit ass online and all of its glorious animation and all the corner cutting that is entailed there. This kind of reveals why that can happen, I guess. Because the system is broken and it encourages people to shit it out. Because they're paid by how much they get out and not how good it is, basically.
Especially when voice actors make bank. Oh.
Do you know how much voice actors make, actually?
Oh.
Do you have figures?
There was an anime called, Shirobako, that basically covers anime studios, and there was actually a graph that was posted, and animators are pretty much at the bottom of the level, and voice actors are basically near the top. They can, in cases, make more than a director of a show will. I mean, they can literally make a lot of money. And I can understand to a degree as well, because the voice of a character can sell a show, but it's really alarming in comparison to something like animation, which, like you said, should be a more essential part. And then you look at how many corners are cut, and you're like, oh, well, I get why now, because there's no budget to work with, because nobody's basically making anything on this.
Yeah, I mean, well, animation can sell things sometimes, like in the case of everything Ufotable puts out. People are always praising the visuals to to high heaven, and they actually try to make the visuals look good with how they take breaks in the seasons of the Fate adaptations to try to get the quality back up so they can have a break to do that. But I guess they get the C team for stuff like SAO, so that's like, well, this is selling shit anyways, so nobody cares. So just do whatever. Get the rookies on this. Holy shit! And then so Michael just linked me some of the figures for these people, for some of these for staff members of an anime. This graph shows that a particular A-list voice actress can get up to about $600,000.
I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah.
It's like it's 10 times as much as the executive producer of the anime. Annual income. This is annual. So think of people like Daisuke Ono and Kana Hanazawa, who are huge names in the animation industry, are making that kind of money, and then the animators are making like not even enough to get by.
It's terrifying, but then you also understand why there's some video games where everything looks below subpar, but it has all these A-list voice actors or actresses, and you're like, oh, I know where the money went.
Yeah. I mean, animation isn't everything, but when these people should be paid to put work into this shit. But I don't know how exactly the system works. If they are, well, what the fuck? A CG animator makes more than a regular animator by a large amount, apparently.
Which then begs the question: is why CG is used as much as it is then?
Jesus fucking Christ! What the fuck?
Yeah, I'd almost like to... I'd be curious to know exactly how accurate that is in comparison, and if we couldn't actually get some real statistical backings for like a TV show or something to find out. I'm sure they'll never release something like that, but I'd be genuinely curious, like if Free Domain ever went up for something like that from something like 20 or 30 years ago, just to get an example to see back then, because I'm pretty sure the business model probably hasn't changed at all since then.
This is interesting. Well, I guess that the moral of the story is that animators are paid shit. This is like slave labor. They're getting paid like
Don't
nothing.
go into animation. At least in Japan.
If you want to make money in the animation industry, be a voice actor. But then you have to be fluent in Japanese. But I'm sure that there's some out there that would appreciate a voice actor who was fluent in Japanese, but had an American accent. They could probably sell that as like a foreigner, like to get a genuine foreigner feel. Okay. Crunchyroll has better news than this fucking Anime News Network.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that when looking around, sadly.
That's what Michael and I were looking for news to talk about before we started recording, and Anime News Network.
Oh, the list.
Yeah, but hang on, let me finish this slot first. Anime News Network seems to be more about episode quote unquote reviews than news stories, because there's so many of the episode quote unquote reviews that it's like drowning out news stories, and the episode quote unquote reviews have so many more comments than news stories do. The news stories, it's actually pretty common to see a news story with a comment count in the single digits or even 0 comments. And then there's all these episode reviews that have
Rotation.
that always have double digits, and sometimes even in the triple digits, 200 or 300. So like I told Michael earlier, I think they need to start changing the name of this. I think they need to change the name of Anime News Network to Anime Review Network with like 20 quotes around the word review.
We can't even put enough quotations around it, so we won't even try.
Oh, good old Red Letter Media.
Don't you know it?
It's the best fucking videos ever. Anyways.
Oh no.
The list.
Oh no.
These are always the most cancer you could ever find on an anime site is these lists on Anime News Network.
So bad. This is probably like the worst one.
So this one is called 7 Reasons Gentlemen Prefer Elves, and all it is listing. All it does is list elf characters from different anime and say why they're so cool. That's about it. It's not actually giving reasons like the title says why gentlemen quote unquote prefer elves. It's saying it's a list of the top 7 elf characters for whoever the fuck wrote this. Anyway.
I love how they're all voluptuous as well.
You're totally fucking right. These are all girls that have big tits and they're always showing. I like how Sakuya from Sword Art Online is in here. Fucking shit. Are you serious? Have you seen Outbreak Company? This girl, this maid, she's a maid, and she's just a sex object. She's just a sex object.
I thought she was kind of a sweetie, but yeah, she really is nothing more than that in the show, though, sadly. She's kind of cute, though, in a sweet, sincere way, but she's fan service material.
Well, I think she's cute in the way that's, like, for creepers who is, like, she's, like, defenseless. Like, totally defenseless.
Am
like,
I a creeper now? Is that it?
If you wanted to molest her, you could, and you would be able to get away with it because she's so that defenseless.
I would totally do that.
That's the kind of character that she is.
I would pour her a cup of tea and fix her a hot meal.
Oh, so you're a gentleman. Do you like to refer to yourself as a gentleman?
I like to, though I know I'm not always, so I won't.
Do you tip your fedora?
I tip my fedora all the way, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't understand this list. I mean, are these characters supposed to be the reasons? Are they themselves supposed to be the reasons why a quote unquote gentleman would prefer an elf? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, it seems to be similar character traits that what other characters have. The only difference is that they have pointy ears. I especially love how 2 of the characters on the list are from the Record of Lodoss War, which, hey, that's fine. More love for that OVA. That definitely needs it, but, I mean, there's other elven characters out there, and do we really have to go with all of them being voluptuous, including one from Queen's Blade? Seriously? Really?
Well, they also have, fucking girl from No Game, No Life.
Ah, yes.
She's like they're trying to be like, well, she's curvy, but she has good qualities. There's nothing really good about her character. Yeah, there's nothing like high class about her.
And she's ranked number 3 on the list.
I guess that's what you'd assume this list is supposed to be about, like high class women.
But gentlemen.
Like, I don't know. There's nothing that attributes any kind of. There's nothing in this list that attributes any kind of like high society vibe to the elfness of the characters themselves. It's like, in some cases, maybe maybe there is a connection, but it's not like they're. Like, this is like the reason that they're elves is why that they are high class ladies.
Seriously, I don't think Lindsay Lamb understands what gentleman means, and it's an absurdity that those who hunt elves, no one from that series is mentioned in here. Come on, you can't make a list about elves without putting it in there. Come on. That's right, I went there.
You can't make a list of elves without putting it in there.
You can't, man. You can't. I just dated myself even further, but never you mind.
I was making an innuendo.
Ooh.
My
Oh,
bad.
Oh, Dracokast.
Oh, fuck. My bad.
The list.
The cancer. Moving on from the cancer.
I kind of want to.
We got more cancer.
Oh, are you kidding me? This may be possibly one of the greatest things that humanity has ever crafted.
Please stop.
Do you want me to tell you about this? About Isho ni training with Hinako. I mean, there's also sleeping with Hinako, in which you get to watch a girl sleep, and she'll randomly do things. Or training, where she trains. And then there's bathing with, which is quite possibly the single most disturbing thing I've ever seen, and may quite possibly be the most trippiest thing ever, because I like to think there's something weird psychological about it.
You like to think there's something deep to any of the doing something with Hinako?
I think there is. I think there is subliminal messaging in there.
Well, okay, so tell me the deep underlying meaning to sleeping with Hinako.
I don't know. I guess it's a study at how we observe ourselves as we sleep and while watching someone else sleep. We look deep within the need to replenish ourselves, and the need to understand what it means to be human by observing a girl that's 16 years old with huge boobs sleep. Well, even better, they're recruiting a game staff for this. Yes, that's right. I don't know what it's going to be developed for. Man, I am hoping PS Vita so I can import the hell out of this. But, which even better is apparently there was an Android-based app on the anime launched in English and Japanese for Android mobile devices back in 2010. And, I'm excited about this because I don't know what you could possibly do with this. It's a training one, so I assume it's probably going to be Android-based. Probably similar to, I don't know if you've heard of it, there is a visual novel / training simulator called Burn Your Fat With Me. Basically, it's a visual novel of something where this girl likes this guy, but the guy's you, and apparently the character's gotten a bit quirky, so she's going to help you get in shape by doing things such as sit-ups and push-ups. Basically, where you put the iPad or device in your lap while you're in a sit-up position, and whenever you do a sit-up, you touch the screen.
Are you fucking serious?
I am dead serious. I'm going to link you that right now. I actually bought that for fun, and literally it is as uncomfortable and hilarious as it sounds.
Oh my god, I need to see this. Holy shit. You need to, make a video and show me this.
Oh.
This sounds just like the worst.
It is great.
Simultaneously the worst and the best at the same time.
There's actually a sequel, too, and there's one for girls.
Jesus. This is like saying, this is deliberately targeting fat otaku and being like, hey, if it's moe girl, and if you can see fan service of this moe girl and get in shape at the same time.
You can do exercises like sit-ups, push-ups, squats, and back extensions. Oh, man.
What a variety. You are gonna get in shape with this?
I'll give him credit because I'm pretty sure this thing prints money.
I have no doubt that it does. Are you talking about the burn your fat with me, or the training with Hinako, or Hinako
sure
in
both
general?
Both of them do. Both the OVAs for Hinako and then the burn your fat with me.
Legit, sleeping with Hinako is one of the most creepy things I've ever seen. It felt like I was they were actually making me a creeper that was looking in the window, peeping on this unsuspecting girl while she slept and staring at her naughty bits.
My line was drawn with the bath time one with Hinako and Hiyoko, and the Yeah, that was.
Your line wasn't drawn at the sleeping with Hinako first?
No, I have a very high tolerance to what I can stand in anime because I just go, oh, Japan. But yeah, I watched Bath Time too, and I watched that fully through, and then I talked to a friend, and then I cried for half an hour in the shower.
You just like lay there,
Just
contemplate where your life was.
I was wondering, yeah, where am I going with my life? What am I doing? And then I figured, no, this is rock bottom. I know what it looks like now, and rock bottom is Bath Time with Hinako.
Oh my god.
Seriously, I am so excited. I'm actually going to keep track of this because that's just so out there.
Please don't support this with your money.
I'm going to update you on every update I find.
Please don't. Okay, let's move on. I feel disgusting enough as it is. Diabolical laughter. Mission is accomplished.